Hello, and welcome back to Dave's American Flyer Trains, where in this video and its segments, we'll look at the possibility of replacing the illumination in the standard 720, 720A, or 26742 dual switch track controllers from AC Gilbert, probably somewhere in early to mid 1950s. So let's get started with looking at how we might want to replace this illumination. Well, first, the why and the rationale. As you are probably aware, these bulbs generate a significant amount of heat, and that heat can be dangerous for the operator, such as small children laying their hand up here, or it can damage and also distort the plastic. And I've had no one burned from touching these, thank goodness, but I can even feel the heat rising above these when I place my hand above them when they're under operation. And then, of course, I've had some problems with the plastic already. As far as the heat, you'll probably recall that these are made with the same manufacturing technique as the Christmas tree lights from the 1940s and 1950s using these painted bulbs. As a young boy, I used to wonder why there was always a large brown circle on the Christmas tree around every bulb, probably sometimes an inch wide. And it was because the intense heat from these bulbs literally killed the needles and they had no chance of retaining any moisture. The other reason, of course, for this one is that it is deforming the plastic. Now you might say, why is it now just deforming the plastic? Why didn't it also deform the plastic back in the 1950s? Well, these controllers and their covers can be 65 years old, and the plastic could lose some of its built-in capabilities or compounds that resisted that heat and the warping when they were first manufactured. But with age, they're losing some of their compound, maybe some of it's evaporating out. But regardless, it is now has a possibility of deforming these. Now, I had a case where this bulb right here was so hot, and I didn't realize it, had bonded to the plastic. It had deformed the plastic, and it had bonded to it. I thought the bulb was just burned out until I tried to remove it, and I could not remove it, even though it extends above the housing for the switch, and I could not get it to rotate at all. The only way I was able to get it out is actually crack the bulb, remove the glass very carefully with needle nose pliers, and then remove the base of the bulb with needle nose pliers to get it out. Then I disassembled the switch to continue the cleaning process, and then replaced it again with another painted bulb. And I noticed that some of these bulbs, and I think these two right here, are beginning to crystallize a little bit around the edges where it comes in close proximity to the plastic. Long term, that's simply not going to be a good solution because I want to be able to operate my trains with safety in mind as well as the lifetime of the equipment, and see if I couldn't do something about that. So what I've chosen to do is to look at the possibility of using these translucent bulbs from Portland Hobbies. These are large globe, red and green. And they are LED 432R for red and 432G for green, which I think is the same designation that AC Gilbert used in their 18 volt. Now, could they be brighter than these? Absolutely. They may create a little bit more intense light from this area, but I'm more concerned over safety and the long-term lifetime of these switch controllers than I am that brightness. The brightness I think I can deal with. So what I'm going to do first is remove this green bulb and that red bulb to show you the difference in the illumination. And in order to remove those, some of these bulbs I can grasp because they extend above the cover. I think this one I can grasp and start it rotating. Yes, I can. Sometimes I'll use a very lightly dampened paper towel, but that runs the risk of removing some of the paint. But what I found works best is just one of these little thin bottle openers, KitchenAid bottle openers, that allow you to grasp this without any moisture, and they'll just come right out then. Very easily you can get them loosened and then start working with your fingers. Now I purchased a pack of the red translucent and the green translucent from Portland Hobbies. And if I'm satisfied with this little pilot test on this one that I'll demonstrate to you, I'll have all these replaced and feel a lot better about, one, the lifetime of the plastic and the safety. I've replaced the bulbs in the leftmost controller, both the green and the red bulbs, with the translucent bulbs. And already you can see a difference very obvious that I don't even think the LEDs are as bright as the painted. So that may be very satisfying, and I'm sure they are much cooler. I can actually grasp of course, the LED bulb and not even get any closer to this painted bulb, and I'm already feeling the heat it's generating, both from the side and above, and it hadn't been on but maybe 10 to 15 seconds. And there's the difference in the green. So I'm going to swap these out for the full length, and then I'll show it to you right after that. It'll take me a few minutes. These translucent bulbs, because they're not painted, the surface of the bulb is not quite as coarse as a painted bulb because it has the coating of paint on it. They're a lot smoother. So using something like a bottle opener, rubber bottle opener like this, is very handy and is almost necessary. So I'm very satisfied with those. So let's finish it out. I replaced all the painted red and green bulbs in these dual switch controllers, and I'm very pleased with not only the amount of illumination. I think in some cases it's a little less unless you look directly down straight on top of the bulb, than with the solids. So I replaced all the green and all the reds, and as suspected, the green painted bulbs that were in this controller were both bonded to the plastic. It had already taken place, so it was just a matter of time before they were probably distorted enough that it was causing electrical problems. I had to crack the bulbs, get them out with needle nose pliers, and then the cleaning took place. What I didn't realize is that the opening for the bulbs had shrunk. So I had to use a rotary tool to enlarge those, and then take care of that on the interior, that is the cleanup, as well as the exterior, before I could even get these green bulbs to seat properly in order to make a connection. So all the green bulbs are now in. Okay, that project is complete. So I think moving forward, I'll be much more pleased with the LEDs in place, with the heat reduction, for safety, and for the long life, remaining life of the switch controller housing. Thanks again for watching Dave's American Flyer Trains. So long, everyone.